Welcome, my listener. Tonight, we open the gates of time and step into the desert of Egypt. Here, where golden sands stretch without end, stand monuments older than memory itself. The pyramids, silent, immovable, eternal. For thousands of years, they have kept their secrets. Who ordered their construction? How were massive stones, each weighing tons, carried and lifted? And why did ancient kings demand such colossal tombs? In this story, we journey behind the pyramids. We will discover the rulers who dreamed them, the workers who raised them, and the mysteries still hidden within their chambers. Close your eyes now, and let the sands of Egypt carry you back over 4,000 years into the age of pharaohs. Our journey begins more than 4,500 years ago, in what historians call the Old Kingdom of Egypt. This was the time when the Nile gave life to the land, and kings, known as pharaohs, were seen not only as rulers, but as living gods on earth. Among these early kings was Djoser, ruler of the Third Dynasty. He was the first to imagine a monument larger than any tomb before him. His vision was not of a simple mastaba, the flat, rectangular graves used by nobles, but of a structure rising toward the sky. With the genius architect Imhotep, Djoser built the step pyramid at Saqqara. Stone by stone, layer upon layer, it reached a height never seen before, almost 200 feet tall. This was the first pyramid in history. It was more than a tomb. It was a stairway to the heavens, a symbol of eternal power, a promise that the pharaoh's spirit would ascend to join the gods. This first pyramid marked the beginning of an age where Egypt would devote its strength, its labor, and its faith to building monuments that touched the sky. Not long after Djoser's step pyramid, Egypt entered the Fourth Dynasty, the golden age of pyramid building. At the heart of this era stood Pharaoh Khufu, also known as Cheops. His ambition was greater than any ruler before him. He demanded a tomb that would surpass all others, a structure so immense it would echo his power for eternity. The result was the Great Pyramid of Giza, rising nearly 150 meters into the sky. It was the tallest human-made structure on Earth for more than 3,000 years. To build it, Khufu mobilized tens of thousands of workers, stonecutters, haulers, craftsmen, and architects. Unlike the myths of slaves in chains, evidence shows they were skilled laborers, organized in rotating shifts, housed in nearby workers' villages, and well-fed with bread, beer, and meat. The pyramid required more than 2 million limestone blocks, some weighing over 70 tons. Each block was quarried, transported, and set with remarkable precision. The base alone covered 13 acres, aligned almost perfectly with the cardinal directions: north, south, east, and west. For Khufu, this was not just a tomb. It was a statement, a stairway to the heavens, and an eternal reminder that the pharaoh was more than mortal. He was divine. Behind the colossal stones of the pyramids stood not only pharaohs, but the thousands of hands that built them. Archaeological discoveries near Giza reveal entire workers' villages. These were not prisons for slaves, but organized settlements where laborers lived during their service. Mud brick houses, bakeries, and breweries show that the workforce was well supplied. Each day, workers received rations of bread, onions, garlic, and beer, enough to fuel the exhausting labor under the desert sun. Teams were divided into groups, often named with pride, such as the Friends of Khufu or the Drunkards of Menkor. These names were carved into stones they placed, like signatures left for eternity. The work itself was systematic. Quarrymen cut limestone blocks from nearby cliffs. Transport teams dragged the stones across ramps, using sleds lubricated with water to reduce friction. Masons shaped each block, and engineers ensured the structure's perfect alignment with the stars and the compass points. Though the labor was grueling, evidence shows the workers were honored for their role. Graves found near the pyramids contained carefully buried skeletons, proof that their service was valued, not forgotten. Together, they transformed vision into reality, stone into monument, and desert into eternal memory. For centuries, the question has lingered: how were the pyramids built? How did ancient Egyptians move stones weighing tons without iron tools, wheels strong enough, or modern machinery? Historians and archaeologists have uncovered clues. The key was ramps, long, sloping pathways made of mud brick and rubble. Workers dragged blocks on wooden sleds, pulling them with ropes. To ease the friction, water was poured on the sand ahead of the sled, allowing the stones to slide more smoothly. Some ramps were built in straight lines, stretching for hundreds of meters. Others spiraled around the pyramid, giving workers access to higher levels as the monument rose. With each layer completed, the ramp was extended, and the pyramid climbed closer to the sky. Precision was just as important as power. The base of the Great Pyramid is nearly a perfect square, each side measuring over 230 meters, aligned with the 4 cardinal directions to within a fraction of a degree. Such accuracy required careful planning, observation of the stars, and a mastery of geometry. Inside, narrow corridors and hidden chambers were crafted with equal care. Massive granite blocks sealed passageways, protecting the pharaoh's burial chamber deep within. These features were designed not only as a tomb, but as a fortress against time and intruders. The methods remain debated, But one truth is clear. The pyramids were not accidents of brute force. They were the product of vision, organization, and extraordinary engineering, centuries ahead of their time. Beneath the smooth walls of the pyramids lies a hidden world. Dark corridors twist and ascend, leading to chambers designed for eternity. At the heart of the Great Pyramid rests the King's Chamber, built from massive blocks of red granite, carried from quarries more than 800 kilometers away in Aswan. Above it, smaller cavities were constructed to absorb the weight of millions of tons of stone pressing down from above. An ingenious design that still protects the chamber today. The pyramids were not empty monuments. They were tombs of the pharaohs, built as gateways to the afterlife. According to Egyptian belief, the pharaoh was divine. At death, his body became the vessel through which his soul would rise to the heavens. Within the chamber, the pharaoh's body was placed in a stone sarcophagus. The walls around him were filled with offerings: food, drink, jewelry, and sacred objects, all meant to serve him in the world beyond. Priests performed rituals, reciting prayers and spells from the Book of the Dead, guiding the king's spirit on its journey through the underworld. Passages within the pyramid were aligned with the stars, especially the constellation of Orion and the North Star, symbols of eternity and rebirth. These celestial alignments ensured that the pharaoh's soul could ascend and join the gods, particularly Ra, the sun god who sailed across the sky each day. In the silence of those chambers, sealed for millennia, the Egyptians believed the king would live forever, guarded by stone, protected by ritual, and remembered through the ages. The Great Pyramid of Khufu was only the beginning. Beside it, two more giants rose on the Giza Plateau, each honoring a son and grandson of Khufu. The second pyramid belonged to Khafre, Khufu's son. Though slightly smaller than his father's, it was built on higher ground, giving it the illusion of equal or even greater height. Its upper casing stones, still shining with polished limestone, remain at the top today, offering a glimpse of how all pyramids once gleamed in the sun. In front of Khafre's pyramid sits one of Egypt's most enduring mysteries, the Great Sphinx. Carved from a single limestone ridge, it has the body of a lion and the face of a pharaoh. Believed by many to represent Khafre himself, for thousands of years, the Sphinx has stood as the guardian of Giza, staring silently eastward toward the rising sun. The third pyramid was built for Menkaure, Khafre's successor. Smaller in size, it still displayed elegance and ambition. Its lower casing was made of rare red granite, giving it a distinct appearance. Around it, three smaller pyramids, often called the Queen's Pyramids, were constructed, showing that royal family members too were honored with eternal monuments. Together, Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure created the iconic trio of pyramids at Giza, a landscape that has endured as one of the world's greatest wonders. Each pyramid was a statement of power, faith, and eternity, standing side by side like a family of stone gods rising from the desert. To understand the pyramids, one must understand the beliefs that inspired them. For the ancient Egyptians, life was only one part of existence. Death was not an end, but a passage to the afterlife, a journey to eternity. At the heart of this faith was Ra, the sun god, who sailed his golden boat across the sky each day and descended into the underworld at night. The pharaoh was seen as Ra's chosen one, destined to join him among the stars. Other gods played vital roles in this journey. Osiris, the god of the dead, ruled over the afterlife. Isis, his wife, embodied magic and protection. Anubis, with the head of a jackal, guided souls through the darkness, weighing their hearts against the feather of truth. For Egyptians, the soul, known as the Ka and the Ba, needed the preserved body to survive beyond death. This belief gave rise to the practice of mummification, where the body was carefully embalmed, wrapped, and placed within the pyramid. The pyramid itself became more than a tomb. It was a cosmic machine, designed to aid the pharaoh's spirit. Passages pointed toward the stars. Chambers symbolized the heavens, and walls were inscribed with prayers. Every stone laid was an act of faith. Every chamber sealed was a promise. The pyramids were not just monuments of stone. They were bridges between the world of the living and the eternal realm of the gods. For thousands of years, the pyramids stood in silence, half buried by sand, their secrets hidden from the world. But in modern times, explorers and archaeologists began to uncover their mysteries. In the early centuries, many pyramids were entered by grave robbers, long before scientists arrived. Treasures of gold and jewelry were stolen, leaving only empty sarcophagi behind. Yet the structures themselves endured, untouched by time. In the 19th century, European explorers, driven by curiosity, mapped and studied the monuments. Scholars translated the hieroglyphs carved on nearby temples, finally giving voice to the pharaohs of the Old Kingdom. Later, archaeologists discovered the remains of workers' villages near Giza, changing the world's understanding of pyramid building. No longer were they seen as the work of slaves, but of skilled laborers organized with remarkable care. In recent decades, technology has revealed even more. Using ground-penetrating radar and thermal scanning, scientists detected hidden voids and corridors inside the Great Pyramid, spaces that remain unexplored, their purpose still unknown. Each discovery brings answers, but also new questions. What secrets still lie sealed within the stones? What messages did the pharaohs leave for eternity, waiting for us to find? The pyramids, even after 4,000 years of study, continue to guard their mysteries, offering glimpses of truth, but never revealing everything. The pyramids are more than ancient tombs. They are symbols of human ambition, endurance, and faith. For the ancient Egyptians, they represented the bridge between earth and sky, between mortal life and eternal existence. Each stone carried meaning, each corridor a path to the divine. The pharaohs built them to declare their power would outlast time itself. For the modern world, the pyramids became one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, and the only one still standing. Tourists, historians, and dreamers from across the globe travel to Giza, standing in awe before structures that defy centuries of erosion, war, and weather. They have influenced architecture for millennia, inspiring obelisks, mausoleums, and monuments around the world. Even today, the sight of the pyramids rising from the desert sparks the same wonder it must have inspired thousands of years ago. But their legacy is not only in stone. It is in the mystery they still hold. Despite endless studies, we cannot fully explain how they were built, what every chamber means, or what secrets remain inside. The pyramids continue to remind us of the limits of our knowledge and the greatness of human imagination. They stand, unshaken, as a testament that history is not just written in books. It is carved in stone and guarded by time. And so, our journey behind the pyramids comes to an end. From the dawn of Pharaoh Djoser to the ambition of Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure, from the sweat of thousands of workers to the prayers of priests, the pyramids remain as eternal witnesses of a civilization that touched the sky. They are not just tombs of stone, but monuments of belief. They are stairways to the heavens, messages written in granite, and mysteries still waiting to be solved. For over 4,000 years, they have stood against wind and sand, against time itself. And tonight, as you drift into rest, remember, the pyramids are still there, silent, watching, guarding the secrets of eternity. Close your eyes now, and let the echoes of Egypt carry you into dreams, where the desert is endless, and the pyramids rise beneath the stars.